and welcome to Amethyst Style Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at Painted Poppies again, and we're going to be using this inside sort of splodgy part. We're using two colours. We're using Gorgeous Grape and we're using Bermuda Bay. We are using our spritz with some water in. And we need some kitchen roll as well. This is a very simple process, but makes a beautiful background. So, and I've also got some copy paper, literally to just protect my work surface. So we are going to take the splodge stamp and we are going to put that onto a large, says me, what have I done with my block? We are going to put it onto a large size block, which I seem to have mislaid. What have I done with my blocks? Oh, here it is, right. Up out of the way where I'd put it carefully. Okay, so we're going to put this onto the block. And I've chosen a quite large block purely because we are going to be using the spritz on it. So just a piece of, and I've used heavy Whisper White. You can use our shimmer, you can use watercolour, as long as it's a fairly thick cardstock that will accept some water. And we are going to start with the Gorgeous Grape. And I am going to put this inside here so that it just gives a little bit of extra protection. We're going to ink this up and ink it up fairly well. And then we are going to take our spritz and we are going to lightly mist this. You want to have enough so that it starts to go, as you can see, another little bit on there. So it starts to give that sort of watery look on it. And that's why I've used a larger block, because then it doesn't go everywhere. And then we are just going to turn it over and we are going to stamp and stamp and stamp like that. Then we are going to clean this one off. So I've got my Simply Chamois. So clean that off with the Simply Chamois. And then we are going to use the Bermuda Bay. We're going to ink it up in the Bermuda Bay. So this is a very simple way to do a pretty background. So let's just ink that up in the Bermuda Bay. Exactly the same. We are going to just do a little mist on top. So a couple like that so that it makes it nice and watery. And then we're going to take that over. We can go across this one. We can go down on here. So you want it, as I say, quite sort of watery on there. And then while it is still slightly moist, we're going to take the spritz and we're going to spritz over the top of here, which blends those colours in. Okay, and then you just sort of wait a little bit, because you can see how it starts to, where we've sprayed it, spread it just across a little bit. This is where you could take your kitchen roll and just very carefully, where you've got a little bit too much, just take the side of the kitchen roll and it'll pull up that colour quite nicely. This little bit here, we don't want it to run too far. So we'll just take that up a little bit. We'll take this little piece up here. But it's a very quick and easy way to give a very pretty background. It's a little bit up on here. So just literally pull it where it starts to run. The running gives really sort of interesting looks, and you will find that each time you do this you will get a slightly different look to it. but what you're wanting to do is to just get some nice sort of colour pieces in there. Now you can then put it to one side and just leave it as it is and wait for it to dry. Because I want to finish this with you, I'm just going to take our heat tool, which is great because it has two settings, so I can put it just on the lowest setting to start off with, and we're just going to slightly start drying this. You can push some of this water away from both sides. Now you've seen that the card's warped, but we can sort that out fairly easily, and as I'm drying it, I am just going to take my kitchen roll back, and let's fold it so I've got a corner to pull it up, and just take those little pieces that we don't want on there and just do it on the side. So if you just put it on the lowest setting, you are not taking too much off, and as I say, just pick up those little bits of water that are out, but it gives you a lovely background, very nice sort of watercoloured type look. So we're just literally going to dry this for a few seconds. Sorry, it's my little dog saying hello to somebody who's obviously out the front at the moment. And then if you do it on the other side as well, so keep turning it from one side to the other, it will flatten your paper out. And as I say, by doing it just on the first heat setting, you will find that this will be different each time. And use two what I call complementary colours. So colours that you like the look of, that you know that when they blend together won't give a muddy look. So I think that's probably about right. So as I say, keep turning it over. That should be fine. Oops, make sure I've turned it off the right way. Okay, so we can then take that out of the way because we don't need this scratch paper now. And you've got a rather nice sort of splotty background. So I can then clean up my stamp and just get the water off like that. Clean round the sides where we've got the little pieces of water. And then we can put this one back in the case. I'm just going to just clean my block down nicely. And then we are going to, so we've got these two colours still, the gorgeous grape and the Bermuda Bay. We are then going to take, let's put this out on here. We're going to take the flowers. So we've got two flowers on here, and we're going to take this leaf. So we've got the two flowers and we've got this long leaf. And then we're going to put the largest flower. Again, I'm using the large block. I can turn it over actually because I don't want it to be too wet, otherwise it won't stick. And then with the gorgeous grape, we are just going to make a card with this. So it's a great way for a beginner because all you're using is 2 ink pads. So we're going to ink up this one, make sure that the inside is nicely inked because that's where the stamen of the flower is. And we're going to put this one just on the top like that. And then I need to just do myself a mask. So easiest way of doing a mask is to take some, I've got one here actually, is to take a post-it note and stamp it out, and then you have got the mask. You can then put that on, and I've got to work out where it is. That's that nice little sort of piece on here. So I think it's, is it that one or is it that one? I think it's that one there. Because I've cut it out, I've got to work out where it is. It's there. Okay, so we're just going to put this little mask on over the top, and then we can do another one. I think I'm going to do another large one for this particular one. You can do large or small. So I'm just going to do this in on this side. like that. So we've got the 2 poppies standing at the top like that. I don't think I'm going to do the small poppy. I'm just going to have the 2 at the top here. And then let me just clean this one off again. My Simply Chamois. You'll notice I cut my Simply Chamois in half actually, because I find it easier to just have that little bit more control over it. The large chamois as a whole piece is great, but it is quite nice to just have a smaller piece. Okay, so now we are going to use the leaf part, and we're going to use the leaf part with the Bermuda Bay. So this is our second colour, and we are just going to ink that up like that. And I am going to put the mask back on again because I want this to come just a little bit, where was it? It was this way, wasn't it? Is it that way? This is where you need to mark where you've put it, so I'm just turning it round. I think that one was on. Is that one on there? There we are, down in on that way. So just put it in so that that's masked, and then we can take this one down so it's going down into the blue like that. And I'm going to do another one the other side like that. Oof, just got it over that little piece. That doesn't matter too much. And then do I want another one? No, I think I'm just going to have the 2 like that. I know you should do things in 3s, but I actually quite like that, because what you're doing is you're following where the actual splatter is. So it really depends where you've got your colour and where you've got your splatter on. And then the only thing you need to do now is to find a sentiment that you want. So most of our stamp sets will have sentiments in, and you can choose whatever you want. So the Painted Poppies is just all images, but we have lots of stamp sets with sentiments in. And as we're still in celebration, I thought I would use the Sending You Thoughts, and we'll do something a little bit different with this one. So I like If Loving Thoughts Could Heal, but I don't want it as a heal card as such. So let me find it. I've got to find it upside down. There we go. Okay, so this is If Loving Thoughts Could Heal. And again, I'm just using one block to show that you don't need to have, if you're beginning, you don't need to have a whole selection of blocks. You can do it just with one. And we are going to take a bit of washi tape. Now, this is retard washi tape. And as I've said to you before, I always keep my retard pieces of washi tape. And I'm just going to mask off the word if. Like that, and I'm going to mask off the Could Heal down at the bottom. So I'm going to put that down there just at the bottom. Okay, and then I am going to take the Gorgeous Grape, because as I say, we're just using 2 colours, and inking that up over the top of where I've got the washi tape. Then you can peel the washi tape off, and you just have the words Loving Thoughts. Let me just take that out of the way and put that so it's not going to give nasty colour everywhere. So we can then take this, and let me see where I want to have this. I think I'm going to have it just down at the bottom inside those colours. So just like that, Loving Thoughts. And that has given you a really simple, easy card to make. And then you just need to decide what you're going to put it on. So you can put it straight, you can do it straight onto a notelet if you wanted to do it that size. You can take some cardstock, which is coordinating colours. So let's have a look. We've got the two colours we use. So we've got the Gorgeous Grape and we've got the Bermuda Bay. So we can put it onto the Bermuda Bay so you can see the colour on there. And as long as you use, if you bend it to just straighten it, as long as you use good adhesive, so wet glue, snail, tear and tape, whatever you want, it will go on there. So that's with the Bermuda Bay as the background. And then this is with the Gorgeous Grape, just to see the two differences. There we go. And you have a very simple, easy cards to achieve, but with that lovely watercoloured background which just picks up the colours that you want. This is the first one that I did, and I blended the colours a little bit more on this one, so you can see that I've got more sort of blue coming at the top and the bottom. Exactly the same thing. You just put your ink pad across into where you want, and you can see it's bled through onto the sides as well, but I think it gives a very pretty effect, very simple to achieve. And as I say, you're just using 2 ink pads, 1 stamp set and a sentiment of your choice. So thank you so much for watching me. Do look forward to seeing you again. Bye bye.